Hey there, fellow readers. Mrs. Weidman here, and today we're going to be talking about the young adult historical fiction novel Mazie by Melanie Crowder. And if you didn't know, Melanie Crowder is actually a Colorado author, so she's a local here in our great state, and she lives along the Front Range with her family. So we're super excited to be talking about Mazie with you all today. Right, so Mazie actually follows the story of a young girl, right? And this girl has a dream, and more than anything else in the world, Mazie wants to leave her small little town in Nebraska and move to New York State, right? And she actually has this grand dream of performing on the big stage on Broadway in these really elaborate, amazing productions, right? And Mazie has worked her tail off ever since she was a kid, right? She's been in dance classes, she's been in singing lessons. She has done everything she possibly can to make sure that when she gets the chance to go to New York City, she can land her dream role on Broadway. Even if it's just as a chorus girl, it doesn't matter. She wants to be there in the big city. So unfortunately, something happens, but this one tragedy actually spurs, right, the chance for Mazie to get herself to New York City. And even though she kind of parts Nebraska on somewhat bitter terms, right, her family is really going through this big tragedy, right? Her boyfriend Jesse and her sort of break up, even though they've been together forever, right? And even though they've supported each other in their own dream pursuits, right? Mazie's like, I've got to do this. I've got to go to New York. And so as she leaves everything she knows behind in her tiny little Nebraska town, Mazie gets to New York City and she quickly discovers that New York is insanely different than where she comes from. And that landing a role on Broadway is even harder than she could have possibly imagined. Because for every role that she goes to audition to, there's hundreds of other girls who want that role just as bad, who have worked just as hard as Mazie to get there. And unfortunately, as Mazie faces rejection after rejection, and as her money's running out, and as her time is running out in New York City, she really starts to question, am I enough, right? Can I be who I am and still land my dream role? Or am I going to have to start compromising who I am and kind of become the look or become the girl that all of these casting agents are looking for? So if that sounds intriguing, if you love historical fiction, if you love Broadway, if you want to read a book from a local Colorado author, then Mazie would be a great next book for you. See y'all online soon.